everyone. This is Prashant, EC Department, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. Now I am going to give brief discussion about what is OBE in India. So OBE stands for Outcome Based Education. So nowadays all higher education institutions in India will follow the OBE rules to get the accreditation for from National Board of Accreditants. So before that, so actually the OBE rules for exist in our India is 2013 onwards. So before 2013, the all education institutions will follow the rules of traditional education system. So why the all education higher education institution in India will transforming into the traditional education into the outcome based education system. So there is a specific some rules. So that will discuss one by one. So before that, so the OBE, the outcome based education system is a student centric instruction model focus on measuring the performance of the student through the outcomes. So what are the outcomes? Outcomes involving attitudes, knowledge and skills. So completely outcome based education system based on outcomes only. So based on that we have to describe what are the differences between the traditional education and outcome based education system. Let's start with the differences between these two. So these are the differences between traditional education system and outcome based education system in education system. So let's start with the first point. Traditional education system having the rules of it gives grades or rank based on the assessment. So here they will follow only grades are rank, but in the outcome based education, so the desired outcome based on assessment, outcomes are goals. So it follow compulsory for a particular outcome on a particular topic. So completely it is based on the outcomes only. So next one, grades are derived from the points on activities, assignments, exams, etc. So in traditional education system they will follow points on activities, assignment, exams and etc. But in OBE, completion of education implies learner has to set the required goals. So set the goals. Next one, judgment methods. So here in traditional education having follow the judgment methods are shaped from previous results only. But in OBE, judgment methods are shaped from continuous evolution. So here the continuous evolution is the very important term in the outcome based education system. So it is continuously evolution system by using lot of tools. Next one, only summative assessment will follow in traditional system, but in OBE both formative and summative assessment are followed. Next one, no access feedback improve loop in traditional, but in OBE the presence of access feedback improve loop in exist in the OBE. So these are the some drawbacks of traditional system that to overcome that all the institutions in India will follow the rules of outcome based education. So the first, the outcome based education will start from one signatory authority overall the world. So that is the Washington Accord. So initially the Washington Accord is an international accreditation agreement for undergraduate professional engineering academy between the bodies responsible for accreditation in its signatory countries and region. So simply Washington Accord is a international agreement, international accreditation agreement which is developed among the initially 6 countries like Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, UK and US. So the main purpose is to mutually recognize and accept the qualifications accredited by the signatories. So this is for only PG programs. It is not for it is for only PG programs. It is not for any PG programs. So this is about Washington Accord which is developed in 1989. Next one, why outcome? What is outcome-based education? As we already know, so outcome-based education system is a student-centric teaching, student-centric teaching and learner methodology. So which is a in course delivery. So the assessment are planned to achieve stated objectives and outcomes. So in order to get the stated objectives and outcomes, next one, it focuses on the measuring the student performance, that is outcomes at different levels. So OB is about all feedback and outcomes. So this is about introduction about outcome based education. Already we discussed in the starting of the class. So next one, why outcome based education? So what is the significance? What is the importance of outcome based education? The first one, it is internal recognition. So the institutions may going to get the international recognition. Next one, more employable and innovative graduates with professional soft skills, social employability and ethics. Next one, better visibility and reputation of the technical institution among the stakeholders. Next one, improving the commitment and involvement of all stakeholders. Next one, enabling graduate to excel in their profession and accomplish greater heights in the their career. So these are the some points mentioned for why outcome based education. Next, move on to the benefits of OB for faculty also. So for teaching will more creative and innovative career. So in order to develop of a mindset of a faculty, so it will very useful. Next one, it is having source of all knowledge for a particular faculty member. Next one, faculty members shape and thinking the vision of students towards a course. So these are the some disadvantages for faculty on the outcome based education. Next one, according to NBA, in our country, the institutions are two types, two categories, Tier 1 and Tier 2. So under Tier 1, we have IITs, NITs, central universities along with state universities and autonomous institutions. So all autonomous institutions in India considered as Tier 1. So the Tier 1 institutions can also claim the benefits from benefits as per the Washington Accord. So remaining all colleges are considered as Tier 2 institutions. Next one, what is OB process or OB framework? So this is very important diagram. So OB framework. So this is the, I already told, OB is the continuation evolution process. So the start from vision graduate attributes of the institution to the assessment, evaluation and improvements for the outcome. So this is the continuous evolution process of OBE. So it involves, for institution we have a mission. What is the mission of the institution? Along with the vision of the institution, along with what are the graduate attributes. Next one, for a program. For a program we have to define program educational objectives. What is program educational objectives? What is program outcomes? We'll see in the next slide. So for the particular program we have to define program educational objectives and program outcomes. Next one, for course we have to define for course outcomes, COs. We have along with Bloom's vocabulary of Bloom's taxonomy. Next one, learning outcomes, assessment tools and syllabus teaching and learning methodology. So this is the one cyclic process or continuous evolution process of OB. Let's start with mission and vision of the institution. So what is vision first? In one word, it is a inspire all the stakeholders. When the student entering into the institution, they have to study first the what is the vision of the student. So it is statement is dream of where one he wants the institution to be and inspire all the stakeholders. Next one, what is the mission of the institution? The mission statements are actionable statements that guide the stakeholders to act. The student should be written in simple language, easy to communicate, and should define objectives which present near future of the institute. So this is about mission of the mission and vision of the institute. Next one, there is a vision for department, there is a vision for mission for a department. So I belongs to EC department. So this is the vision for EC department. So to produce professionally competent electronics and communication engineers capable of effectively and efficiently addressing the technical challenges with social responsibility. So we have to provide some technical knowledge to the students along with some social responsibility. This is about vision of EC, electronics and communication engineering. Next one, what is the mission of the department? So here it is very important term. So the department is provide an academic environment. So the first thing is to provide academic environment. Then it will ensure high quality education, training, research by keeping them upstate of latest developments in the field of electronics and communication engineering. Aimed at prompting employability, leadership qualities with humanity, ethics, research attitude, and team spirit. So all the things are developed in the mindset of student. Okay, so this is vision and mission of the departments of EC. Next one, what is graduate attributes? So it is a set of generic knowledge, skills and attitudes considered for essential for all graduate engineers at the 21st century. So it provides it means for establishing substantial equivalence of degrees. So this is these are the mission, vision along with graduate attributes. Next one, important aspects. So as we discussed in the OBE framework, so the first one, course. What is course? Course is defined as either theory or practical, or theory come practical, studied as a practical subject studied in a particular semester. Like engineering chemistry, one of the course, engineering physics or electronics and electronic devices and circuit, or pulse devices and circuits, or switching theory and logic design. Like that, we have courses in a semester. That is a course. So for the particular course, we have some outcomes that are course outcomes, COs. A course outcome is a formal statement of what students are expected to learn in a course. It is a formal statement what students are expected to learn in a particular course, either in chemistry or physics or any technical subject. So when creating course outcomes, remember that the outcomes should clearly state that student will do or produce to determine and or demonstrate their learning. So this is about course outcome. Next one, program. So what is program? BTech is one of the program. BTech or MTech or MBA or MCA. So it is defined as the specialization or discipline of a degree. It is a specialization of a particular degree. So it is the interconnected of arrangements of courses, co-curricular and extracurricular activities to accomplish predetermined objectives leading to the awarding of a degree. Example, BE or BTech or any other mode. So this is important aspect. So we have course, apart from that course outcome, program, then we have program outcome, PO. So a program outcome, these are always in line with graduate attributes. So NBA has defined 12 POs. So you need not define those POs by yourself, and it is common for all education institutions in India. So we have 12 in number POs that are defined by NBA. Next one, program educational objectives, POs. Simply, POs are defined by head of the department, HOD, in consultation with faculty members. So POs are promised by the department to aspiring students about what they will achieve once they join in the program. So they have to promise to the students compulsory you will achieve your goal, like that. So POs are about professional and career accomplishment after 4 to 5 years of the graduation. So POs can be written from different perspectives like career technical competency and behavior. So here we have 3 to 5 POs are recommended for every course. Next one, the last one, program specific outcomes. So it is for specific discipline only. Usually there are 2 to 4 PSOs for particularly course program. Okay, so these are the PSOs: course outcomes, program outcomes, POs and PSOs. So next one, what are the POs? So here we have 12 already defined by NBA program outcomes. So let's start with the first one, engineering knowledge. So here the basic knowledge. So apply the knowledge of, basically you have to apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, engineering fundamentals, and an engineering specialization to the solution of complex engineering problem. So after applying the knowledge, you have to identifying the problem. After applying the knowledge, you have to identify the problem. So identify, formulate, research literature, and analyze complex engineering problems, reaching sustained conclusions using first principles of mathematics and natural sciences, engineering sciences. So this is about the second PO, problem analysis. Next one, after identifying the problem, we have to develop solution further. So design and development of solution. Next, after identifying the solution for particular problem, we have some conduct investigations of complex problem. Next one, by using modern tool usage, we have to create, select and apply appropriate techniques, resources, and modern engineering and IT tools, including prediction and modeling to complex engineering activities. Next one, the engineer and society. This is the apply reasoning informed by the conceptual knowledge to access the social, health and safety, legal and cultural issues. So this is the sixth one, the engineer and society. Next one, second one, environment and sustainability, seventh PO. Understand the impact of professional engineering solution in social and environmental context. Next, ethics. Apply the ethical problems and commit to professional ethics and responsibilities and norms for the engineering practice. So like that, we have 12 types of program outcomes defined by NBA. The last one, lifelong learning. So recognize the need for and have the preparation and ability to engage in independent and lifelong learning in the broadest context of technological change. So these are the 12 POs defined by NBA. Next one, what is the structure of course outcome? To write the course outcome, we have one particular formula. So that to start with, always any course outcome start with the student should be able to, then behavior, then for that behavior we have to write resulting evidence. So this is the formula to write the course outcomes for a particular topic, for a particular course. So let's one example here. Let's start with my course. So here just I dealing the subject of radar systems and processing. radar systems and processing. So before entering into the complete overview course description of the my radar systems and processing, let's start with the course overview first. So here we have three topics. The first, red color, green color and violet color. So the course overview describe introduction of the subject, what are the content of the subject, what are the application of the subject. So here the red line, the red mark describe the introduction of the subject. So this course introduce radar systems and processing. Course introduce the transmission of electromagnetic waves and radio waves to detect the range and velocity of target. So the basic function of the radar, the basic function of the radar is to detect the target and find the range between the transmitter and target. So like that, the first red ink describe that. So the course introduce the transmission of electromagnetic signal. So to identify the target or object, we have to transmit the EM waves to the EM waves from the transmitter. So the red introduction. Next, contents. So it covers digital techniques that allow complicated signal processing in moving target indicator MTI and pulse Doppler radar and digital data processing to perform automatic detection and tracking. So these are the some contents in the cell theory. Next one, applications. So it focus on several ranging applications such as electronic warfare, navigation systems, missile technical guidance and landing systems of air and space vehicles. So the overview describes three terms here: introduction, contents, important contents and application of a particular subject. This is the course overview. Let's start with the prerequisites of the subject. So here in the middle of the subject, we have to find out probability of detection method, probability of false alarm, probability of something we have to define. So the all things are comes under probability theory and stochastic process. So that's why I choose one of the prerequisite of the subject is PTSP. Next one, we have to transmit EM wave signals to transmit the target or radar. So transmission, so communication developed among the communication devices. So this is about that's why the analog communication is one of the prerequisite of my subject. Next one, what are the expected percentage of cognitive levels of questions in semester end examination. So these are the Bloom's taxonomy levels from remember to remember, understanding, apply, analyze, evaluate and create. So for remember I give 10%, for understanding 50%, for apply 25%, for analyze 15%. First we have to remember the or recall the topics from the two subjects, analog communication and probability theory and stochastic process. Then understand the process of transmitting the signals, that is 50%. After understanding we have to apply, that is for 25%. After applying we have to analyze, that is for 15%. So these are the some expected percentage of cognitive levels of questions. Next one, alternative assessment tool, that is AAT. AAT stands for assessment alternative assessment tool. So it involves several kinds of activities like 5 minutes video. This is for 20%. So every student have to take one topic, based on that he prepared and make a video for 5 minutes. Next one, assignment. So it is common to all branches or all students, that is for 30%. Next one, tech tag. So for tech tag, by this time we have collected IEEE or any other magazine topics that already passed to the students. that is tech tag. Beyond the syllabus. Next, seminars. Next, open-ended experiments are beyond the syllabus topic. So complete 100% of alternative assessment tool. Next one, what are the course objectives of particular subject? So here we have only three, but the three course objectives will cover entire syllabus of RSP. That is the importance of course objectives. The first one, principle and operation of radar systems and radar range equation for communication. Next one, the use of Doppler frequency shift to detect move target in stationary cluster continuous wave radar system in altimeter applications. Next one, the types of radar receivers, transmitters, systems and effective of noise and a radar signal detection. So these are the three course objectives will cover entire syllabus of radar systems and processing. Next one, course knowledge competency level. For understanding there is a 9, for analyzing there is a 4. Next one, the course outcomes are very very important to understand the subject. So based on the content of the modules, we have to write the course outcome. So for RSP, radar systems and processing, just I wrote 13 course outcomes. Let's start with, for example, CO1. CO1, demonstrate the basic principle of radar with the help of block diagram. So by using block diagram, we have to know the basic principle of radar system. Just treat it as a course outcome 1. Similarly, CO2. CO2, understand the factors affecting the radar performance using radar range equation to calculate the transmitter power. So compulsory for the transmitter, we have to transmit power or efficiency. Some of the factors we need to calculate. So based on that, I wrote one CO, understand the factors affecting the radar performance. So the performance of radar, it is the combination of lot of parameters. So this is course outcome 2. Next, course outcome 3. Explain the working principle of continuous wave radar, CW radar wave, with the help of block diagram to measure the speed of the target. So simply here, continuous wave radar is nothing but transmitter continuously transmitting the signals. Then it reflect back to the from the target is to the receiver. So this is continuous wave radar. Continuous wave radar have a lot of history that is discussed in the lecture. So this is about CO3, working principle of continuous wave radar with the help of block diagram to measure the speed of the target. So next one, analyze the principle of frequency modulated continuous wave radar and apply for it altimeter applications. So here frequency modulated continuous wave radar. We are talking about frequency modulated continuous wave radar in order to analyze in order to analyze performance of the FMCW radar. FMCW radar. Next one, describe the tracking radar principle to analyze different types of angle tracking for obtaining target position. In order to obtain the target position of a particular target, so we have to describe the principle to analyze different types of angle tracking methods. Next one, analyze the statistical parameters. What are the parameters of radar cross section area sigma of targets to measure the signal to noise ratio and system losses. So every system having some losses like medium losses, transmitter losses, receiver losses. So this is comes under it CO7. Next to CO8, compare fixed and moving target to find the relative disadvantages and disadvantage of different radars. Next one, explain various techniques to employed in radar receiver for detection of signals in noise. So these are the 12 COs which are written by me for radar systems and processing. Next, CO-PO mapping, it is very important. So how CO with CO mapping with defined 12 PO. So here for my subject I choose 4 POs, PO1, PO2, PO3 and PO4. So all 13 COs are can mapped with these 4 POs. How it is, let's see one by one. So here first CO1 can map with PO1. So PO1, PO2, PO3, PO4, PO5, last PO12. So the first CO1 can mapped with PO1. How it is possible? So first read the first CO, demonstrate the basic principle of radar with the help of block diagram. So demonstrate the basic principle of radar. So basic principle means to apply the basic engineering apply the rules. So here, so apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, engineering fundamentals, and an engineering specialization to the solution of complex engineering problem. So based on that, the first CO mapped with first PO. So let's see second one. Understand the factors affecting the radar performance using radar equation to calculate the transmitter power. So this CO involving mapped with two POs, PO1 and PO2. So let's explain. So the PO1, the first here, factors affecting the radar performance using radar range equation to calculate the transmitter power. So to understand the factors affecting, so for that first PO, apply the knowledge of mathematics, science, engineering fundamentals and an engineering specialization to the solution. So second one, problem analysis. To here to calculate the transmitted power, so we have to measure the one measurement. So that is transmitted power. So problem analysis, identify, formulate, review research literature and analyze complex engineering problems of research. So this is the mapping with CO2, PO1 and PO2. So let's see one more example. So here describe sixth one. Describe the tracking principle to analyze different types of angle tracking for obtaining target position. So the CO6 can mapped with PO1 and PO2 and PO4. So every CO minimum mapped with CO1, PO1, it is common to all. Next one, PO2. So problem identification. Next one, fourth one, conduct investigation of complex problems. So this is the sixth CO can map with PO1 and PO1, 2 and 4. So this is about CO-PO mapping, very important to analyze them. Next, move on to the PSOs, program specific outcomes. It is specific discipline for a specific discipline. So we have here three: PSO1, PSO2, PSO3. So PSO1 build embedded software and digital circuit development platform for robotics, embedded systems and digital signal processing applications. The second one, focus on the application specific integrated circuits, prototype designs, virtual instrumentation and system on chip designs. So it is general PSO 1, 2 and 3. So it is the strength of HFSS, high frequency structure simulator. The strength it is 2, it is medium. Proficiency accessed by semester end examination along with project. So this is about program specific outcomes, PSOs. Next one, justification. What is justification? So as we know, CO1 can map it with PO1. So why it is CO1 PO with PO1? So we have to give justification for that. So PO1 can map with CO1 can map with PO1. So here CO2 can map with PO2. CO3 map with PO3 and PO4. CO4 with PO1 and PO2. So justification. So here demonstrate the basic principle of radar with the help of diagram, that is knowledge, using principles of science and mathematics for emerging engineering problems. So what are the key competencies? So what are the pivot terms we are used for writing the justification? So here the key number of key competencies are 3 for this particular justification for mapping. Next one, so understand the performance of radar by radar range equation using principle of specific and mathematics engineering problem. So that is CO2 map with PO1. The number of key competencies are 2, here 3. So based on this we have to some count of key competencies. So here for CO1 this 3 2 2 2 1 3 3. So these are the total count of key competencies for COPO mapping. Next, this is the course plan. So here I have 54 lectures for completing the theory part. So among 54 this is the 1 to 4 for up to the maximum unambiguous range. So the topics can map with associated with CO1. So the reference textbook is textbook 1 1.1 to 1.6. So this is the course plan. So in whichever which topic I am going to explain. Next one, 5 to 8. 5 to 8 we have the topics up to the signal to noise ratio improvement after integration of echo pulses. So these are topics associated with CO2, the textbook from 2.1 to 2.4. So this is course plan. Next one, particular topic outcome. So for demonstrate the basic principle of radar system with the help of block diagram, this is the first CO. So for the particular CO, the particular topic is introduction to radar. So a particular topic outcome is the principle and operation of radar system and a radar range equation for communication. So this is a particular topic outcome. Next one, Bloom's taxonomy. What is Bloom's taxonomy? So it is the global language for education. So to prepare the question paper for CIE or SEE, we have to use some vocabularies, that is from Bloom taxonomy levels. Okay, so frequently used by teacher writing the course outcomes as it provides a ready-made structure and list of action verbs. Next one, why use Bloom taxonomy? So here write and revise learning objectives. So we have, for every course we have learning objectives. So for that write, for example, here the first course outcome is understand the basic principle and operation of radar with the help of block diagram. So this is first CO1. So for this CO1, the understand is the word for Bloom's taxonomy. So we are using for understand first CO. The second CO, describe. Understand for level 2. for a describe level 3. Like that, we are writing the course outcomes and to prepare the question papers for CIE and SCE. So next one, identify simple and most difficult skills. Next, effectively align objectives to assessment techniques and standards. Incorporate knowledge to be learned and cognitive process to learn. So these are some why use Bloom taxonomy to prepare the course outcomes. Next one, here we have three learning taxonomies from 1956: cognitive domain, affective domain, and psychomotor domain. So what are the contents having cognitive domain? What are the contents having affective domain? Psychomotor domain will come in next slide. So next one. So these are the levels of Bloom taxonomy. Very important to learn. So these are starting from level 1, bottom to top. So this is level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. So remember, the first one is remember. Remember it just to recall the topics from the previous. So I already mentioned the first starting of the lecture, prerequisites of the subject: probability theory and stochastic process and analog communication. So we have to remember some topics from those two subjects, like probability density functions or probability false alarm probability, in order to finding the probability ratios, that is less than 1. Next one, communication modulation schemes. Modulation or demodulation schemes are transmitters or receivers, whatever we have to recall to understand the entire subject of radar systems. So this is comes under remember. So to define that, to write that, we have some vocabularies like define, duplicate, list, memorize, repeat, and state. So these are the some remember words. Next one, understanding. So after recall, we have to understand. So explain the ideas and concepts. So these are some vocabulary verb forms: classify, describe, explain, identify, locate, recognize, report, select, and translate. After understanding, we have third level, that is apply. It is some most important. Use information in new situations. Wherever the new situation, we have to apply some rules. Next one, analyze. Draw the connections among the ideas, differentiate, organize, relate, compare, contact, distinguish. So this is about analyze. The last but one, evaluate, justify a stand or decision. The last one, create, produce new or original work. So these are the Bloom's taxonomy levels. Very important to write the equation. So it is a global language for everything. Okay, thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.